Hello students, today we are going to identify the basic functions of business. Objectives. At the end of this session, you should be able to cite the scope and meaning of operations and human resources, functional areas of business, cite the scope and meaning of finance and marketing, functional areas of business. Dear students, in this session, we will be discussing about operations, human resources, finance and marketing, functional areas of business. Let's go on to the introduction first. Even in the smallest business, a number of key tasks or functions must be done regularly. Stocks must be bought, bills must be paid, customers must be served, and customer inquiries must be answered. In a small firm, all these jobs may be done by one or two people. In a large organization, people specialize in different tasks. Many companies base their organizational structures on various functional areas, creating departments around these functions and assigning responsibilities according to employees' job titles and experience. A functional organizational structure groups employees by various skills and expertise, leading to greater efficiency according to the online encyclopedia of management. Several key types of functional areas are typically seen in business environments. Functional area in business. In a large organization, it is usually easy to identify separate functional areas because people work together in departments. Each department carries out the tasks that relate to its particular area. The main purpose of functional area is to ensure that all important business activities are carried out efficiently. This is essential if the business is to achieve its aims and objectives. In addition to this, specific areas will be responsibility for supporting specific types of aims and objectives. For example, sales and marketing will be involved in achieving targets linked to developing new markets or increasing sales. On the other hand, finance will be expected to monitor and support aims and objectives linked to keeping costs low to improve profitability. Whereas production will set targets relating to quality or meeting planned production schedules. Human resources, on the other hand, will be involved in arranging staff training, activities, and supporting the continuous professional development of the staff. Let's learn about the dividing functional units. There are varieties of ways of dividing the functional areas of the business. The most popular and commonly used classifications are as follows: finance, marketing, HR, production. In addition to this, communication also plays an important role within the organization. Though this is not usually advocated as separate function, communication plays a very important role across functional role. There is no fixed rule in setting what the functional areas of a business are. For instance, in certain organizations, IT, transportation, logistics, consultancy and analysis can be considered as an important function. Functions essential to develop the goods or services and making it reach the final consumer are called the task functions. These are the basic activities of organization which are related to the actual completion of the productive processes and directed towards specific and definable end results. There are other functions which are not directed towards specific and definable end results. These are referred to as element functions. This usually includes human resource management, IT, maintenance, quality control, etc. There are several key factors which determine the basis in which an organization could be grouped. Nature of the product or service offerings. For instance, if the company is into IT services, IT essentially becomes a main functional area. Location. If the organization has multiple locations, communication can become a separate functional area. Customers. If the organization is looking at a set of few key customers, account management or customer care can be considered as a separate function. Though a business has functional areas, a business cannot be viewed as a set of functions. The reasons are as follows. There are overlaps in functional areas. For instance, production managers may do a considerable amount of marketing activities, though marketing is a separate functional area. There needs to be communication between the functional areas, and there are set of activities which are done by the functions collectively. Therefore, the organization is a more complex setup. Let's know about each function in detail, beginning with the finance function. Now, the finance function states most entrepreneurs consider this as the most important function in the business. This is because all business need a regular stream of income to pay the bills. Finance staff record all the money earned and spent so that the senior managers always know how much profit or loss is being made by each product or each part of the business and how much money is currently held by the business. This enables critical decisions to be made rapidly and accurately because they are based on accurate information. Whereas in many large businesses, different types of financial experts are employed. Management accountants monitor departmental budgets and current income from sales, prepare cash flow forecasts, and specialize in analyzing day-to-day financial information and keeping senior managers informed. Financial accountants are concerned with the preparation of statutory accounts. All companies must provide a balance sheet and profit and loss account each year, and most produce a cash flow statement as well. A credit controller monitors overdue payments and takes action to recover bad debts. Finance staff supports the accountants by keeping financial records, chasing up late payments, and paying for items purchased. Today, virtually all businesses use computer accounting packages to record the financial transactions and prepare their accounts, as well as spreadsheets to analyze financial data. If the business needs to borrow money, it will want the cheapest interest rates possible and also want good repayment terms. Deciding where to obtain these funds is a specialist job and normally the task of the senior financial manager. Three key areas of the finance function can be introduced. They are, firstly, management accounting. It is the use of accounting techniques for management process. In general, management accounting takes place current and past data and looks to the future. Second, budgeting and financial control. A budget is a planning tool based on the finances coming in and the amounts expected to be paid out. Each item of cost is budgeted for within the overall plan by allocating it a part of the available funds. The aim is to prevent overall losses by sticking to the budget. A budget is therefore also a controlling tool. Third, financial reporting. It relates to the presentation and reporting of financial information. The financial statements that a business will produce are partly determined by the law of that country. Depending on this law and the type of organization, some of these reports may need to be made available to the public. Some of the prominent finance functions are as follows. Producing invoices, checking payments are received and chasing up overdue payments. Recording money received, checking and paying invoices received, preparing the payroll and paying staff salaries, monitoring departmental budgets to check managers are not overspending, issuing regular budget reports to all departmental managers, producing cash flow forecasts and regular financial reports for senior managers, advising senior managers on sources of finance for capital expenditure, producing the statutory accounts each year. Marketing is all about identifying and meeting customer needs. Many businesses consider this so important that they are said to be marketing-led. In this case, everyone in the organization is trained to put the customer first, from the production worker who has to produce high-quality goods to the accounts clerk who must respond to a customer inquiry promptly and accurately. Another way to understand marketing is through the marketing mix. This consists of the 4 P's. Product. Who are our customers? What do they buy? Are their needs changing? Which products are we offering? And how many are we selling? What new products are we planning? In which areas are sales growing? And how can we sustain this? For which products are sales static and how can we renew interest? Which sales are falling and what, if anything, can we do? Price. How much should we charge? Should we reduce the price at the start to attract more customers or charge as much as we can when we can? Can we charge different prices to different types of customers? What discounts can we offer? What services or products should we give away or sell very cheaply? And what benefits would this bring? Promotion. How can we tell people about our products? Should we have specialist sales staffs? Where should we advertise to attract the attention of our key customers? How else can we produce the product? Should we give free samples or run a competition? Where and how can we obtain publicity? Should we send direct mails, shots, and if so, what information should we include? Place. How can we distribute our product or products? Should we sell direct to the customer or through retailers? Do we need specialist wholesalers or overseas agents to sell for us? What can we sell over the telephone? How can the internet help us to sell more? All these questions are considered by the marketing staff. They start by identifying the future customer needs. Products are then developed or adapted or services offered to meet these needs. If this is done well, it gives the company an edge over its competitors. Some of the prominent marketing functions are carrying out market research to obtain feedback on potential and existing products and or services, analyzing market research responses and advising senior managers of the results and implications, promoting products and services through a variety of advertising and promotional methods, which includes press, TV, online, direct mail, sponsorship, and trade shows or exhibitions. Obtaining and updating a profile of existing customers to target advertising and promotions appropriately. Producing and distributing publicity materials such as catalogs or brochures. Designing, updating, and promoting the company website. Let's get on to the human resource function. The human resources of a business are its employees. Wise organizations look after their staff on the basis that if they are well trained and committed to the aims of the business, the organization is more likely to be successful. HR is responsible for recruiting new employees and ensuring that each vacancy is filled by the best person for the job. This is important because the recruitment process is expensive and time-consuming. Hiring the wrong person can be costly and cause problems both for individuals as well as for the firms. Normally, new employees attend an induction program which tells them about the business, their rights and responsibilities as employees, the company rules, and the requirements of their new job. Arranging appropriate training and assisting with the continuous professional development of staff is another aspect of HR. Training may be carried out in-house or staff may attend external courses. HR aims to ensure that the business retains good experienced staff. Analyzing staff turnover figures will show the rate at which people leave the organization. If these are high, it is important to identify and remedy any problem areas. Whilst people may leave for justifiable reasons, such as moving to another area or for promotion elsewhere, dissatisfaction with the job or the company should be investigated. Some organizations hold exit interviews to find out staff views on the business when they leave. Employees normally have basic expectations of their employer. They expect to be treated and paid fairly, to have appropriate working conditions, to have training opportunities which will improve their promotion prospects and support if they are ill or have serious personal problems. They also want a varied and interesting job and praise when they have worked particularly hard or well. These factors help motivation, which means staffs are keen to work hard, and this benefits everyone. HR can help this process by monitoring working conditions having staff welfare policies, and ensuring that the company pay rates are fair and competitive. Many organizations have staff associations which monitor the views and conditions of staff and make these known. In other businesses, trade unions may represent the workers, especially on pay and conditions. Senior HR staff liaises with the organizations, keeping them informed of changes and developments, and are also involved in any negotiations with the senior management. Human Resource Management or HRM. Some of the prominent functions of HRM include advertising job vacancies, notifying staff of promotion opportunities, receiving and recording all job applications, arranging interviews, and notifying the candidates of the results, sending a contract of employment and other essential information to new staff, arranging staff training and encouraging continuous professional development, monitoring the working conditions of the staff, checking health and safety and keeping accident records, recording sick leave and reasons for absence, carrying out company welfare policies, example, long service rewards and company loans, advising managers on the legal rights and responsibilities of the companies and its employees, keeping records of grievances and disciplinary actions and their outcome, monitoring the terms and conditions of the employment including wage rates, maintaining staff records, liaising with staff associations or trade unions which represent the workforce. Now we'll talk about the production function. Production refers to the manufacture or assembly of goods. Production staff must ensure that the goods are produced on time and are of right quality. Quality requirements can vary considerably. Whilst an error of 0.5 mm would not matter much for a chair or table, for an iPod or DVD player, it would be critical. Checking quality does not necessarily mean examining goods after they have been produced. Today, quality is built in at every stage of process, starting with the raw materials. Many buyers set down a detailed specifications for the goods they order, such as Marks & Spencer, which sets down precise standards for all its producers. For clothing, this includes the type and weight of the material and the thread and the fastenings too. Buying raw materials is done by specialist purchasing staff who take out contracts with regular suppliers and make sure that the terms of the contract are met in relation to delivery, cost, quantity, and quality. They also ensure that all items are checked on delivery and refer any problems back to the supplier. The materials must be purchased at a competitive price. This is not necessarily the cheapest price but takes account of other factors such as the reliability of the supplier, the quality required, and the delivery date. Raw materials will be stored near to the production area in a separate area. If a manufacturer uses a large number of parts such as car producer, storage can be very expensive in terms of the space required and the manpower to oversee the stock. For this reason, many manufacturers today operate a just-in-time or JIT system. This involves having an agreement with specific suppliers to provide small quantities quickly when they are needed. This benefits both parties. The suppliers know that they have a regular buyer. The manufacturer no longer needs to store large quantities of goods or worry about having sufficient stocks on the premises all the time. The production function also includes the following aspects. Production planning involves deciding what will be made when and which machines and operators will be used. A realistic time scale must be predicted, bearing in mind other jobs that are in progress. Production control means constantly checking progress to make sure that production plans are met and taking remedial action if problems occur. This could be because of machinery breakdown, substandard raw materials, or labor shortages. Machine utilization control is considered with minimizing problems by keeping all the equipment and machinery in good working order. This involves checking to ensure none is overloaded or overused without being routinely checked and maintained. This is important because if a machine malfunctions, it may produce damaged goods. If it breaks down altogether, then production of the product will cease. Staff utilization control concentrates on making sure all the staff are working effectively and efficiently and concentrating their efforts on key production areas and targets. This is very important in industries which are labor intensive and use more people than machines, such as assembling circuit boards or sewing jeans. Final quality checks make certain that the product is of correct standard. This can be done in several ways. Each item may be examined by hand or passed through a machine which checks that the end tolerance is correct. Alternatively, items may be selected for inspection on a random sampling basis. This would be the case if a large number of identical items is being produced, such as cups or biros. Production is also involved in preparing items for dispatch. This may involve simply packing the finished items, such as household goods or clothing, and transporting them to the dispatch section. In other cases, it may involve various finishing processes. For example, paper is produced in huge rolls. These may be transported intact, but usually the paper is cut, boxed, and then packaged. It then looks like the paper you see in a stationery store. Some of the prominent production functions include ordering, often buying, stocks of raw materials from approved supplier, storing and checking the stocks of the raw materials, planning production schedules to maximize machine capacity and staff levels, producing or assembling the finished product, checking the quality of the product through the production process, checking production is on schedule and resolving delays or problems, packaging and storing the final products before distribution, scheduling routine machinery inspections and maintenance, carrying out repairs to machinery and equipment as required. Conclusion. In this session, we discussed about the operations, human resources, finance, and marketing functional areas of business. No functional area in a business organization can work in isolation. In a small firm, links and interactions between people responsible for different functions are usually informal and continuous. Salespeople know which customers still owe money and must not be sold any more goods on credit until a bill has been paid. The manager knows which members of staff are keen and hardworking without being told, and a customer query can be quickly solved by asking everyone in the office for advice. The situation is different in larger organizations because people may work in a separate area or department and rarely meet each other. However, all areas still need information and support from each other for the organization to operate effectively. Constant communication and cooperation is essential for the business to achieve its aims and objectives. This often means that joint decisions have to be made between departmental managers or their staff to take account of everyone's needs. Thank you.